Robert Venditti and Wilfredo Torres close out the Donnerverse as Superman battles the armoured Brainiac for the fate of not just Earth, but the hundreds of bottled cities within the villain's ship. Robert Venditti caps off his absolutely wonderful continuation of the Donnerverse Superman with an action-packed finale that continues Venditti's great character development of these iconic characters. I loved Venditti's version of the Reeves Superman here, where he's not actually fighting against the villain with his fists, but rather talking with him and trying to make him see his error in his ways and help him do some good for once. The movie's captured that really well, and I thoroughly enjoyed that it's continued here, especially since it's done in a sequence which could have easily just been a huge big slugfest. While all of the stuff with the Brainiac plot is wrapped up nicely, I'm glad we are left with an open ending just in case we get a sequel, and I really hope we do, since the sky's the limit of where it could go next and what could happen next, especially with Superman still working to free the bottled cities and his parents, as well as Lex Luthor escaping. Wilfredo Torres delivers us some really awesome artwork one final time, focusing on some really awesome, very Richard Donner-like action. Again, I love how he was able to capture the feel of the action set pieces of those older films, which were limited to the tech of their time. He also continues his fun little pop culture cameos, this time including the Goonies, who are on a trip to Metropolis and witness Superman's heroics, which was a little bit of fun. Superman 78 issue 6 was the perfect cap-off to the return of the Donnerverse, giving us equal parts action and awesome Superman character showcases, while also wrapping up the story and leaving enough room for a possible, hopeful sequel. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Superman 78 issue 6 sees the Man of Steel battling the armoured Brainiac, who tells the attacking hero his abilities won't work on him thanks to science Superman can't even begin to comprehend. Science that allowed him to create a digitised consciousness capable of inhabiting a new body when his old one dies. He thinks that Superman thinks he's better than him, but he was raised by a lower class of humans and their cars don't even fly. Superman knows that he's not better than anyone. He believes everyone deserves a second chance. Superman smashes the mech armor back as Brainiac says that humanity squanders its chances, and while Superman tries to aid them and give them an example to strive towards, they are no better than they were before and are much worse. He says that he has already ripped Metropolis from the Earth's surface and it's waiting to be miniaturized, and if he isn't allowed to catalog them, then humanity will be extinct. Superman knows that the villain is afraid since he claims to want to preserve races from destroying themselves, but he just wants to control them, so he's not a scientist like Jor-El, he's a scientist who just uses science as a weapon. Brainiac is angered since the hero hasn't seen what he has seen and he has lost everything. Superman tells him that he has lost everything as well, and he didn't let it twist him, and he came from one planet and crash landed on another, and the first people he ever saw took him in and loved him as their own, so how could he not see the good in them? He tells Brainiac that he gave up, but Superman never will. Superman breaches the armor, which begins shorting out, so he tells Brainiac to escape and save himself, but the villain refuses, blowing up with the armor and telling the hero he's just a man. The explosion doesn't do anything to the hero, who tells the now dead Brainiac that he is Superman. Suddenly alarms ring out on the ship as it's been damaged by the explosion, putting the bottled cities in danger. Superman races to the cities, collecting them all and speeding away from the ship as Brainiac's consciousness enters another of his various bodies, but it's too late as the ship's core detonates, blowing up the entire vessel. Superman knows that without Brainiac's ship, Metropolis is in danger. In Metropolis, the tech that was holding the city in stasis shorts out, plummeting the city towards the Earth. Superman races in to save it, getting in under the city and stabilizing it. Lex thinks it's too bad the Metropolis real estate market is about to crash as he flies away on his balloon, but Superman continues to push against the island, straining to hold it up as it crashes into the ground. Luckily, the hero's planned work and he slowed the city enough to carefully set it back down where it once laid. Perry gets to work on his new headline, telling Jimmy to get him photos as Lois mourns the loss of Superman. Suddenly, the ground rumbles and Superman bursts from it unharmed, waving to the people as he meets Lois, wondering if anything happened while he was gone. Lois hugs the hero as later on, Perry congratulates Lois on her new story, asking Clark what he's got, but the man says his cuckoo clock fell off his wall in his apartment and knocked him out, so he missed all of the action. Disappointed, Perry asks Lane what her follow-up is, learning that Lex has vanished and the army has confiscated his hideout and issued a warrant for violating his probation. She also reveals that NASA asked Superman to help recover the wreckage of Brainiac's ship in orbit, so Perry wants her to cover both stories, telling Clark to get some aspirin and for Jimmy to get some pictures. Clark and Lois leave, and Clark again asks if Lois wants to go on their lunch date that they promised each other. Lois reminds him that they have deadlines to meet and today is a really busy news day, wondering how Clark could have forgotten that, but Clark says it didn't really cross his mind as Lois reveals that she packed them both lunches, wanting some help with her calls. Clark agrees to help, but first, he's got to run by his place. At the Fortress of Solitude, Superman apologizes to the bottled cities he saved from Brainiac's ship, knowing that with Brainiac's ship destroyed, so was the technology that could help resize them. He promises to find another way, and Jor-El believes in his son as Lara tells him that he already gave them something they desperately missed, hope. Superman thanks his parents, knowing that they will make their discoveries together.